I made this dodecahedron a while ago. It's made of separate parts, these faces and a bracket that holds them at the right angle. Well, the correct angle. Um, when I made the bracket, I had to hard code the dihedral angle of a dodecahedron, but really the dihedral angle is constrained by the geometry, so it'd be more elegant to not have to do it that way. I'm using FreeCAD, and this might be a limitation of FreeCAD, or it might be a limitation in my knowledge of FreeCAD, but one of the things you can't do in FreeCAD is make like 3D constraints. I think in other CAD software you could build this just by defining the pentagons as 3D objects and then say what edges they share, and the solver would go and figure it all out. But in FreeCAD, the only constraints you can make are on 2D surfaces, so it's a little bit non-obvious how to do this. I think I have a solution. I don't know if it's the best solution, but it is a solution, and it uses the tools that I know how to use in FreeCAD. First, let's consider this view, straight onto what we'll call the bottom face. We can see 6 faces here. One is a regular pentagon, the others are scaled pentagons. My single numerical constraint will go here. There's 1 degree of freedom remaining. Generally, a rotation in 3D space will look like a combination of rotation and scaling in an orthographic projection. If the axis of rotation is parallel to the direction the camera is looking, then the rotation is just a rotation in the projection. If it's perpendicular, the projection is scaled along the axis that's perpendicular to the axis of rotation. Here I'm rotating around the x-axis as best I can, and the object is being scaled in the y direction on the screen. This bottom face is parallel to the screen, so it's not scaled. The faces around the rim are facing different directions though, so they are scaled. Since we know all the points in each face are being scaled in the same way, we can constrain the ratio of 2 distances perpendicular to the axis of rotation as an invariant. This is an orthographic projection seen from the side. The y-axis was originally the screen, and I'm rotating these lines around an axis of rotation pointing into the actual screen. You can see, however I rotate it, the longer line is always twice the length of the shorter line in the projection. This is the fact we want to turn into a constraint. These are the distances we want to constrain. These are distances perpendicular to the axis of rotation for this pentagon. We can make a copy of the regular pentagon here and mark the same distances. To constrain this ratio, we can use similar triangles. Any vertical slice of this will have the same ratio of these 2 lengths. So that's fully constrained the sketch. I'll add a few more constraints to keep the construction geometry from moving around. So this sketch gives us the x and y coordinates of all the points in the dodecahedron. The top face, which we can't see here, is the same as the bottom face but flipped around. We can now make a perpendicular sketch looking at the dodecahedron from this angle. the first sketch was in the XY plane, and this sketch is in the XZ plane. Since we've already constrained the x coordinates of these points, we can link them. There's also a vertical line of symmetry in this sketch. We can also horizontally align these two rows of vertices. This is the same reasoning we used before. These three faces are the same except for a rotation around the z-axis, which means their z-coordinates are preserved after rotation in the projection. Similar reasoning can be used to constrain the heights of these two pentagons. And we're already down to 2 degrees of freedom. This face in the middle can be constrained using the same construction as we used in the first sketch. It's simply rotate around the x-axis so we can constrain the proportions of these y distances. So now we only have 1 degree of freedom left. Let's consider this line down the middle of the sketch. If we look at our reference dodecahedron, it starts at the top face, goes down this edge, through the middle of this face, and ends on the bottom face. For fun, I've unwrapped the faces that this section passes through. These are the top and bottom faces, and this is the path that the section follows. Here we can draw it in profile. And put the lengths from this other part of the sketch in. After doing that, we get this hinge with effectively 1 degree of freedom. The vertical dimension in this profile is the same as the vertical dimension in our sketch, so we can link these points together. And that fully constrains our sketch, which means we've fully constrained all the vertices in the dodecahedron. I'm going to skip most of the next part because it's boring. We create datum planes for each of the z levels and sketch on them, linking to the xy coordinates from the first sketch. Then we create datum planes using these sketches to create each face. Combine and convert into a solid, and we're done. Thanks for watching. I wouldn't necessarily recommend this workflow, but if you want to learn the right way to use FreeCAD, check out Joko Engineering. And if you know a better way to do this, let me know in the comments.